Anne, and welcome to Chronically Beautiful, where we're trying to live our best life even though we probably don't feel like it. I am so glad you are here today. I hope that you're really going to enjoy this video. I enjoyed making it, and I'm really pleased with how the finished product turned out. Today, we are going to be making a mobile classroom. I know that so many people, probably all people pretty soon, honestly, I think, are having to do virtual school right now. If your school is going back face-to-face at some point this year, you're probably going to be back home. I know that most of the schools in my area are at least starting the year out virtually, and for a lot of parents, that is really, really stressful, and it's a lot of work, and it's just a lot. And so I thought this might be just something fun to create, to maybe make it a little easier to have school at home. And we are going to go through all the steps. Everything on this board was purchased at the Dollar Tree, so it was very, very affordable. You can make this for $10 or less, and you can just hold it up and put it away. You do not have a separate office or anything like that in your home for your kids to do their schoolwork. If you have multiple kids and they're bothering each other constantly, this is the perfect option because you can make two of them, you can put them back to back, you could do all kinds of different things. You could make multiple ones for all of your kids. You could set them up at the kitchen counter like I am right here, or you could put them at the table, and then as soon as you need that space, you can just put it away and move on with life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around. But first, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, especially this one because lots of parents could probably use the help, share it, and please give it a thumbs up. That really helps YouTube to notice me. Finally, don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. All right, let's dive right in. I began by purchasing two foam core boards from Dollar Tree, so they were $1 each. They didn't have science fair boards, so I'm trying to create my own science fair board. So I just went through, I measured how long it was and cut this one completely in half. My original plan was to make this project vertical, so it looked like a true science fair board, but I decided after the fact that it was too tall to do that, and I would rather utilize my space horizontally. Had I known that now, I would have cut my board in half horizontally and had even more space, but it is what it is, and I only bought two boards. So I will just use these little two extra squares for a project in the future, and just know that if you do this horizontally, you can have even more room on the sides. So I marked it with a pencil, and I used my razor knife to cut it. Be very careful, make sure you do this carefully or on some type of cutting mat so you don't accidentally cut all the way through. Next, I got this decorative duct tape that I got at the Dollar Tree. I just lined my pieces up, and be sure when you do this that you don't tape over the top or the back because then your hinge will not work correctly. I found this tape in the tool area, not with the craft supplies. So if you don't find it with the crafting stuff or the office supplies, check the tool area. I went with this cool foily iridescent green because that is our school colors, and now you have a science fair board for $3, which I think is cheaper than they are. And now I've got all of my accessories. I have all kinds of different fun things, again, all purchased at the Dollar Tree. And I'm starting with this bulletin board border, which as a teacher, when I first started teaching, I really wish that I would have been able to buy this stuff at Dollar Tree because it was really expensive. But again, I chose the green to go with the theme. I just used some double-sided tape that I had on hand. You can even use glue if you wanted to, a good old-fashioned glue stick. There are a lot of different ways that you could attach this. Dollar Tree also has these little pieces of cork board in their crafter square area, and it's very thin, so I decided to double mine up, and it is adhesive. So I wanted to make it thick enough to be able to actually use it as a bulletin board on this mobile classroom. So I actually cut it in half, and then I am going to peel off the backing and then just stick it on top of each other. So now it's twice as thick. And you could do this, if you wanted to make it bigger, you could just buy 2 sheets. I just went with the 1 sheet, and now I have a bulletin board that is big enough. I love the little posters on this board, and I just used one of the calendars that they have at Dollar Tree right now. They have so many cute calendars with some just beautiful printed pictures. They have ones that are for moms that say like wine o'clock and things like that. They have like succulents and fun, beautiful sayings like these, and I just loved this one and thought that these were really cool posters to put on. And here I'm just cutting them down to size. I did measure and mark with my ruler so they would look straight. If you wanted to get very fancy, you could even put a border around these or even put them in a little frame. The sky is the limit with this, and I loved the sayings: wander often, wonder always, and do more than exist, which is a really important one to me. So just posting these in there. Next, I took these little, they're Velcro dots, they're hook and loop dots. They are very, very sticky, so I just folded it over and connected them to each other, and then peeled the backing off and stuck them right down onto my items rather than trying to peel them off with my fingers, if that makes sense. And I just used my Dollar Tree locker whiteboard that they have. It is also magnetic. And then I got this little calendar, and I like this calendar because it comes inside of this plastic sleeve, and you can slide it right out of the sleeve and then put it back in there so the sleeve kind of holds it down. And they had all different designs of those calendars, all different kinds. They have some with Post-it notes attached, some that are just like wire bound. I mean, you could not even imagine how many different calendars they have at Dollar Tree. Now I'm just applying all of my little fun accessories to the board. I've got my cork board. I got these really cool push pins that have hooks on them, which I absolutely love. So I'm using those to put some little lunch notes on the bulletin board. And I also have this cool pocket chart, and they have a few different kinds of pocket charts at the Dollar Tree as well. So I thought it would be neat to apply this with the Velcro as well, so it could come off if you need to wipe it down or you want to take it out to change the things inside. And this will just be a cool way to maybe put the day's schedule in or things like that. I was really excited to find this 8-pack of the Jot Dry Erase Markers. They're usually only a couple in a package, and they're decent. They would not hold up in my classroom for a whole year or anything, but they'll work just fine for the at-home classroom. And I just wrote some different little things on these lunch notes, which fit perfectly into the pouches. And here I have a little storage thing. It has a magnet on the back, which was crooked, so I'm just fixing that. And again, I put these little Velcro buttons on there, and I'm just gonna apply it right onto the board, stick it right on there, and you can put whatever you want in there. I'm just gonna put the rest of my push pins in for now. And then finally, the most difficult part of the project was attaching the pencil cup. I got this wire mesh pencil cup. You have to do something with holes in it. But I took the zip ties, you put them into the cup first, then you put them through the holes that you punch in the board, up through the back, and then back through the cup, if that makes sense. It took me a minute to figure out the process on this, but I just started with a sharp tool that I have to poke the holes, and then I put my zip ties in to hold it down. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. I just thought it would be nice to have it all attached. You could just have it there on the desk, but I wanted to keep everything all together for the board. And it is just through the cardboard, so it's not going to be on there if you're dragging it around by the cup, but it is just a nice little added touch if you want to throw a few pencils in there, your dry erase marker to use for your board, some pens, etc. So here is our finished mobile classroom. The neat part is that you can switch out your posters, you can put a schedule in like I have done here, and the lunch notes at Dollar Tree say a lot of cute things, but it also comes with several blank ones if you wanted to use that, like I have, to create the schedule. Your child can pull the calendar right out and update it as needed. You can keep your writing utensils right there. You've got your little bulletin board to make it feel more like an office to them or a classroom, and you can do whatever you want for your pictures. If you wanted to print things out or use a different calendar, you certainly could. And everything is removable, so you can take things off if you want to write on the whiteboard to use for taking notes or using it as a scratch pad. It can pop right off there. You could even put the day's objectives on the board. You could do all types of things. I am really happy with how this turned out. I think it's so cute. You could pop your computer right there in the middle, and your child has their own special space, even though they're not at school. So that is how you create the mobile classroom. And one of the coolest things about this is that you can totally personalize it to do
anything that you want. I mentioned throughout the tutorial that you can try different things. This part right here with the daily schedule, I did originally intend that to be a one sheet of paper holder thing because they did sell those at Dollar Tree. I just couldn't find them at my store, so I decided to just go with this, and I was able to repurpose some of the lunch notes to create a schedule here. And that is the beauty of this project, is that you can do it in so many different ways. If you would rather have, you know, a times tables chart or some kind of actual learning, you know, resources on here instead of the little posters, or you would like to have any different things on here. Maybe you want the alphabet across the top for very young learners. Maybe you want a pocket to put books in. That is something that you can do anything you want. You could do it in any color, any style. You could put fabric on it. You could put flowers on it. I mean, the sky is the limit on this thing. You could do your child's school colors, their favorite colors. You could match it to their room. You could match it to your kitchen, whatever. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. Like I said, I loved making this. I had such a great time with it. I wish I had littler kids. I don't know that my 7th grader will use it. He's the youngest in the house, but we'll see. If not, I will find a neighbor that maybe needs one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming. Keep coming back. Take care of you. Happy school year! Hi, and welcome to... I need to get my poop in a group here. It's like I've never done this before.